Bitcoin holders, this is Discover Crypto, and we got a very special message for you today. It might all be over, but I'm going to give you a light at the end of the tunnel because the markets had a drastic change, and we're seeing the jobs report shocking the crypto market exactly like we predicted 24 hours ago. And we're going to cover where are we heading next? Is there a potential target in the low 70s, or are we blasting up to 130, 138? We're going to talk about AI agents. We're going to talk about an XRP stablecoin. And if we got time, we might even mention Richard Hart's watch collection. Josh, how are you doing today?
Sold all my crypto, packed my bags, went back to TradFi, repenting. I don't know.
You're repenting?
I'm repenting. I went into a Catholic church and asked for, hey, why are the markets doing so bad? They told me I got like 7 Hail Marys. I don't know what that meant.
I'm not trying to be funny here. Did you sell all your hair gel?
No, actually what it was is my hair's a little bit too long, so I got like that chicken hair going on, so I got to get it cut a little bit. But
too long. Hey. Nay is what I say. I say grow it out. We want to see it down to your shoulders.
I'm going to do I'm thinking rat tail.
Okay.
If Bitcoin goes to 77K, I'm going to do a rat tail.
All right. Well, I actually used to have a rat tail, but let's look at this meme right here, because this might be what you're feeling today. Bitcoin falls below 100K, and the alt holders going through PTSD right now. You're acting like you're in Vietnam, getting chased through the jungle. But I have a little light at the end of the tunnel on all things here. The altcoins. This is just a perfect encapsulation of why altcoins are not going to fail. We are trying to disrupt these legacy institutions. We're doing it with DeFi. We're doing it with AI agents. We're doing it with Bitcoin. When you look at Goldman Sachs, you know what I see right here? I see a lot of overhead. JP Morgan, I see a lot of overhead. DeFi, well, maybe not lean and mean, but definitely there's a machine in his lap. So we'll keep the rhyme going there. And so don't worry. But first, let me scare you. Okay, I got to scare you because we could go lower. I wasn't joking about hitting the 70s. All these things are potentially possible, folks. But first, TJ, I almost forgot. We got to do the market watch here. Yeah. Let's look at CoinGecko.
Let's show them why they should be scared in case they haven't checked the markets yet today.
Yeah, we are seeing a little bit of a bounce lately here. But yeah, still Bitcoin is down 2.6%. Ethereum is down 4%. Solana almost down 5%. Dogecoin down 5%. Cardano, massive drawdown here, down 8.7%. Now looking at 96 cents there. Huge correction. SWI, everybody was saying, ho, I can't wait to buy SWI under $5. Well, now's your chance. In fact, it might even be below $4 eventually. Even Chainlink with the sharp correction. I was talking to Drew before. He's like, is it over? What should we do about Chainlink? What is going on with Chainlink? Zoom out, everybody. When you zoom out a little bit, you can see, okay, a little bit of a correctional period right here, but we still got some pretty strong support. You can almost draw a line from this point to this point to this point. We can still go a little bit lower and not break some important structures there. Let's look at the biggest losers, as well as gainers. Gate, SPS 6900. I know Stevo and some of the Solana maxis, they're a big fan of this token there. Then we have stablecoins. But the biggest loser in the last 24 hours, Athena. TJ, this is your moment. Yeah, this is your chance.
I love to see it. Like I said, I was literally getting into this mode right now. Under $1's great. It could pull back a little bit lower. I think I don't think we end up breaking all the way down. If we do, if we go to those 77 kind of levels you're talking about, obviously alts are getting crushed on that. But I like seeing this because those are a lot of strong projects there. Ondo, Athena, Liquid or Hyper. I mean, some people like Thorchain, Fetch. A lot of those are strong. I mean, then you even see Virtual's AI16Z. Those are all very strong altcoin projects. So on days like today, you see a pullback on that. That's appetizing to start. Like, okay, I'm going to start laddering into that, moving out of Bitcoin because Bitcoin's down 4%, and then those are down 20%.
Yeah, I mean, it really makes you feel like this dog right there.
Exactly.
You really start feeling like that.
And this is why, guys, I've talked about this a lot of taking your time, getting holding a heavy position in Bitcoin, and then slowly throughout this altcoin season, moving out of Bitcoin into altcoins. I'm still mostly in Bitcoin, but so when you have days like this is where you have that capital on the side. For me, it's not necessarily new dollars coming in, but it's Bitcoin that now I can convert into these altcoins that I've been watching, that I've been liking, that I've been buying small amounts with, testing, playing with, and that's kind of how I recommend doing it. So,
all right, we got people saying, is the crash over? No, it is just starting. DZ's Peanuts here. TJ still waiting on that Athena entry, and greetings back to Poland. keep pulling Polish. That's what I say there.
No, well, and getting that Athena entry, that's where patience pays off in this market, and not overreacting, not being too emotional. You just kind of follow your plan. I'm still expecting things to go back up in the future. Next week, obviously, or the next couple weeks, we're starting to get some more economic data and inauguration, that sort of stuff. So,
all right. And if you are wondering, all right, how the heck do I buy Athena? There's several ways. You can go to markets. It'll take you down here. I hit the thing where it can show all 100. CoinW. I do see CoinW on there. I see a couple, Binance, Kraken, Hotcoin. Hotcoin always just has all the hot coins. It looks like you can also get it on Uniswap.
Yeah.
Pretty low liquidity on that, or pretty low volume on that. So, yeah, a little opportunity there if you're looking to buy some Athena. That's just a good way to get there. But let's talk about Bitcoin's dip here. The big crash. What led to the crash? Largely, kind of like what I was saying live when I was getting all this data yesterday, U.S. economic data led to huge correction, which then led to $300 million in crypto liquidations, 4% pullback. We saw the altcoins take even sharper correction. Behind the move was renewed cycle highs and U.S. bond yields following stronger than expected economic data. They continue to roll back their hopes for further reserve rate cuts, which we're going to check in a second, now pricing in only one rate reduction for the entire year. But does Polymarket agree? We're going to check in a bit. But the U.S. bond yield, when this skyrockets, there's just safe ways to earn money. And when there's safe ways to earn money, I think the 10-year yield went to maybe 4.8. All right, well, I'm a billionaire. I can put $1 million aside, and the U.S. bond will earn me fair money. When that U.S. bond yield starts dropping, I got to look for something risky. I'm looking for Bitcoin. And so when there's no incentive to get away from these safe yields, Bitcoin's going to see a little bit of a pullback. Also not in this article, and I haven't seen too many people mention it, the DXY, the strength of the dollar, sharply rebounded as well. So when the dollar is real strong, it's like eating that Popeye spinach. Bitcoin feels a little bit weak, has olive oil arms. Keep scrolling here. Bitcoin, the crypto market stumbled, with Bitcoin losing the 100K level on Tuesday as the two stronger than expected economic data prints through cold water on the digital assets' bright early year momentum. The Bureau of Labor Statistics job openings data unexpectedly rose to 8.1 million from 7.8, and the estimates were a decline to 7.7. Now, Josh, TJ, did you see why the job data was so off? Did you hear what the analysts were saying?
I did not.
Tell us, DZ.
They basically said there's a lot of employers, September, October, first part of November, they were waiting for the election before they started hiring. So when we started getting this scary data, July, August, September, October, they were just waiting to see. Honestly, I'm not trying to make it political. They're waiting to see if Trump won. If Trump won, they were going to hire strongly, or a lot stronger than expected. Who knows how it would have gone if the other candidate would have won? I wouldn't be surprised if it was a reversal of what we're seeing today. While neither report generally tends to be much of a market mover, combined, they further shook up the bond market, sending the 10-year yield higher. What did I say? 4.8? No, 4.68, within a few ticks of the multi-year highs. The swift decline liquidated 300 million long positions, according to CoinGlass. This is the first large flush of the year, much like me after I eat Taco Bell. Now let's go to Polymarkets here. They were saying only one is priced in. Polymarket has proven itself pretty accurate, folks. The number one contender, 2 rate cuts. After that, though, we do see one. Now, if you look at the last week here, you can see the green and the red rows. That's 0 and 1. So the odds of 0 and 1 increased, while the odds of 2 or 3 decreased. But we are still seeing Polymarket saying 2 rate cuts for the year. So I don't know if you're firmly thinking it's going to be one. There's opportunity on Polymarket, and
they're both. It's 2. Does that have different basis points on each one of those? Is that saying 250 basis point rate cuts?
Well, how many rate cuts? So I think they're just doing combined rate cuts. So I guess 150 would count as 2, as well as 225 cuts.
Yeah, they'll do. It's going to be 25 basis points, I think, nonstop. But
so you're thinking how many? How many are we going to get this year?
25 basis points, basically, is what we're talking about?
Yes, 225 cuts.
I think that's a little overly bearish. I think we're going to get...
You're thinking 3.
Like, at least 3.
Well, there's a 5-to-1 odds if you want to bet on it.
Yeah, I should probably actually bet on that. Because I would say 2 to 3. And we'll know exactly probably next week, too. Like, so what you should be following is going to be, like, just pay attention like Fed Waller and all the commissioners. But They're really just looking at the inflation data that's going to come out next week. So January's a little bit rough start because you have all the way till the middle of January before you get that economic data on the CPI and the PPI reports coming out for these markets. And of course, the true one, which the Feds like to watch, which is PCE. So you have, a lot of inflation data coming out next week and then right after the inauguration. And even if it's slow, okay, even if it's slow, yes, the inflation progress has slowed down, but even if it's slow and still on its way down to 2%, you're going to see that fluctuate heavy to 3%. So that is going to be the deciding moment and factor in these markets on how healthy they actually are. And then again, you're going to see after Trump takes office, you're then looking at February, and Trump will have been in office for roughly 4 weeks after that next inflation data comes out. So you're probably looking at an incredibly volatile end of January, early February. In my opinion, that is going to be more leaning bullish than bearish, but we'll see again as this data comes out next week.
Hey, maybe buying Greenland pumps all the markets.
Yeah,
Who knows?
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, there's like the tariff negotiations could go phenomenal. Trump has been the ultimate fundraiser. I don't know if you noticed, every day he's got a new company or country investing billions of dollars back into the American economy. So I think there's a lot of fear out there because a lot of media has that TDS, but there's also a lot of pro-Trump people that are a little too bullish. And I think it's going to land somewhere in the middle.
I listened to the Billy Bush interview with Tucker. Pretty enlightening, because that's where the Access Hollywood tape came from. So a lot of cool stuff there. Theodore, not Theodore, asking, what is going on with Aerodrome? Is it over? Is it done? DJ, I saw your little note in our communications earlier. I might have to make an Aerodrome video. It will go out tomorrow. And I'll cover basically the potential next Solana, which is going to be the base ecosystem.
Yep.
So if you want to see an Aerodrome video, I require 80,000 likes. Is that too many?
I don't know.
How about 80 more?
Yeah.
Where are we at right now?
176. So yeah,
100 all right, we need to get to about
How about
300.
over 1,000? There's
I
over
will
1,000.
I will run to my desk after this live stream, and I will start working on that. I am going to be in a Mario space actually around noon, and so I will be doing that. Then after that, straight to the Aerodrome Alpha.
And there is over 1,000 people watching right now. So if all of you did just stop for 1 second, hit that like button. If you're on mobile, turn your phone sideways. Sometimes you have to do it to get it. We'd really appreciate it if you could do that.
How does Trump think you could just get Greenland? I think there's only, about 50, 60,000 people living on Greenland?
I'll look it up.
Yeah, it's very easy.
You give them all 100K, I think that's $5 billion.
And all he has to do is go to whoever owns Denmark, or not Denmark. I think Denmark owns
Denmark.
Greenland.
That's a banker.
Owns Greenland.
Yeah.
But all they have to do is be like, yeah, we're going to tariff you harder. Guys, I don't think you guys understand how easy it is to purchase these other countries. The most other countries, especially in Europe, they're in massive amount of debt, and they're already in complete reliance on the U.S. Same thing with Canada. Now, I don't think you can pull that off, but it maybe certain provinces like Quebec or Alberta that are going to be struggling in comparison to the rest. It's not impossible to see this actually take place. So, don't be too. I wouldn't leave it out of the picture and say that's ridiculous. How can
You're
you
right,
buy a
Easy.
territory?
You colonialist.
56,000 people, as of the end of 23, it looks like in Greenland. So.
Yeah, so you give them all 100K. I think the math is 5.6 billion. I would certainly be like, yeah, you're going to give me 100K. I don't really care.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I doubt those 56,000 people get to decide. It's going to be like 3 people of the country get to decide if they want to sell it or not.
Well, and guys, and it's not even, exactly. It's the people that are in control, and it's all you have to do is say, we're going to do more than what Denmark's doing, basically, and get Denmark out of it. It's all just political negotiation. So somebody said, when I said that, someone was like, you can't do that. And I was like, well, why? Why not?
Why not?
How do you think the people that have it now got it? They took it from somebody else. That's usually how it works. So
Puerto
if you
Rico,
can show that you can provide more value.
Alaska, how we got literally every state.
Exactly.
You
bought it.
Why
Or
not
we
expand? Why
negotiated
keep
for it.
giving hundreds of billions of dollars to failing countries and not just buy them?
I would say
That's an interesting
if they
question.
lose Greenland, their Viking ancestors are going to be quite sad. But let's talk about Bitcoin here. Bitcoin hourly RSI falls to the most oversold since $60,000. And we're going to verify ourselves to see if this is true.
That sounds great.
That does sound good. And we'll see what happens after the fact, too. We'll check back last time RSI was this low. Such a rapid decline is rare, taking it from overbought to oversold in just 24 hours. Last time we were this oversold, Bitcoin was trading at $60,000. When it crosses these levels, depending on the direction, traders can make inferences about the future of an uptrend or a downtrend. During bull markets, we regularly spend extended periods in the overbought territory and not too much time in the oversold territory. Let's just go straight to the meat and potatoes. I pulled it to the 1 hour. down below. This is called the RSI, the relative strength indicator. This isn't you trying to bench, 2 plates. This is a crypto strength in the market. And so right here, we're going to zoom up. We're going to zoom in. I'm going to move the camera. So you can see here, we hit oversold, which starts at 30 and got all the way to about 13, 14 or so on this oversold metric. So we're going to keep scrolling. See, last time we hit this blue line, wow, we're going way down. And then boom, right here. Look at that price, $60,000. They were not kidding last time it hit that. But if you look,
what is that? October 24?
That's that October crash.
Yeah,
right there. But the scary part is when it hit oversold, it hit it right there. It then put in another massive move to the downside, eventually drawing down another 5%, losing another $3,000. So, folks, we could have another little relief bounce like, oh, don't worry, we're oversold. We'll never be that oversold again. And then, boom, come back down like a rocket, fall like a piece of lead there. So just wanted to put that on your radar. The worst of the pain could still be potentially ahead. In fact, let's talk about how painful it's going to get.
Well, and you said 95, right? I'm sorry, you said 5% is...
Yeah, an additional 5%. It felt like another 5% after that.
After, so like in the comparison...
5% would be 5K around 100K. It would be falling another $5,000.
Right. So basically,
but we might fall further.
Yeah, exactly.
We might fall even further because there's a head and shoulders pattern. Now, Josh, you got the great locks. I'm Chrome Dome over here. What does head and shoulders mean to you?
Knees and toes. Usually you have to have the full, complete, takeaway there. But no, guys, head and shoulders tends to mean you are going to get further, downside in this market. And I mean, just judging by this trend line, this was a very bearish formation that took place. But a head and shoulders would be one shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. And again, if you were to break that neckline, so to speak, we are going to see some significant downside here. Some people believe, and some analysts believe, towards 77K. Now, I want to definitely...
Is that what you see? Because you would draw from the top of the head to the neckline and then put that at the shoulder breakdown. What is that number if you make the vertical line for us there?
Okay, got you right. Let me zoom down just a little bit here for you and go to daily. So I'm going to read for everybody. You're not going to like this, Deezy.
Oh, I'm scared already.
Our drawback could be from here alone. If you're looking at that neckline, roughly down to, I'd probably go back to the support here, 28% drawback. So you're looking at that's all the way down towards 68K. But if you follow just the traditional trajectory of looking at that previous line, you're looking at about $77,000, which would fill, by the way, that damn futures gap I have still drawn out.
Yeah, that CME gap. Yep.
On the futures here. But, I would still be cautious here. We have another futures gap. It's actually about to fill at 94.2. That's a golden pocket right here as well. So what I would just... Look, guys, I would just not be the boy who cried wolf here and just scream for the downside in these markets. This very easily could be just manipulation within price action. If it were to go to this range, you're talking it has to happen. Like, we need back to back, like bearish things coming out of these economic reports. You need Trump to like completely just put like 200% tariffs on everything blanketly and just freak out all the markets. You need a lot of things to actually happen to take place to get there. So I would be cautious.
Fires in the country's most expensive real estate.
Poor rich
that happens
people.
all the time. I'm not. That doesn't freak me.
Yeah,
no. It seems like that it was
don't worry.
semi-contained.
By the way, don't worry. They're gonna get $750 checks from the Biden administration before he leaves. Okay, they're gonna. Yeah, all the rich people will be able to rebuild their homes just fine, and they'll be able to go buy a Gucci bag with it. But you're looking at, yeah, you just got to be cautious here, guys, because look at what happened last time. Like, what I'm worried about is that every single time we get into one of these bearish sideways actions, this happens at every single level. 25K, 45K, 55K, 65K, the whole way up. And every single time we start to struggle here, we could also be turning out to build a reverse head and shoulders pattern. So you might end up getting some market maker action here where the boy who cried wolf, like they were doing just a few weeks back when we're at 92K. They're like, Josh, no, we're going to go to 87. We're going to go to 84. We're going to go to 77. This just happened a week ago. And then everybody was wrong. Went up to 102K. Literally 2 days ago, everybody was going, man, should I buy? Is it too late? Did I miss out? Did I miss out? Did I miss out? And now we fast forward again, only 48 hours. And everybody's doing the same exact. We were wrong. It's going back down. It's going to go. And that's where you get stuck in this emotional roller coaster. And if you're going to react that way, you're gonna get soaked, man. I would just be cautious.
It's that old meme where you got the guy at the table and the sign says Bitcoin $105,000, and there's a line of people waiting to buy it. Then it has Bitcoin at 95K, and the line is empty. Everyone's a little bit spooked there. The head and shoulders breaking to the downside would be pretty nasty, like Josh said, about the 75, 77 level, which does take it to this little range right there. So very, very high potential. I'm not saying more likely than not, but, I wouldn't put it below 30%. I wouldn't put it below 35, 40% potentially here that we do come down and test this 75 to 80 range, folks. So just want to put that on your radar. But let's go ahead and do the silver lining, okay? We can't all just be like doom and gloom, it's over, sell everything. Because if things reverse, we're going to say, well, folks, the signs were there all along. Bitcoin downward pressure is now being abated as the sell side markets are starting to shrink. What do I mean by the sell side markets? So we've likely passed the worst of our downward pressure in the short term as we've seen a steep decline in sellers on exchanges, according to crypto analysts. Analysts are saying Bitcoin's liquidity inventory ratio, this is measuring how long Bitcoin's current supply can meet demand across exchanges, has dropped from 41 months worth of supply to just 6.5 months. 41 months was only in October 2024. That's like having 41 days worth of toilet paper on your shelves, and then all of a sudden you shrink to 6.5 days worth. What happens to people's mentality? They start feeling greedy. They start seeing that, okay, maybe the end is near. Let me go ahead and lock up and buy all the Charm and Ultra Strong that I can. We might see the same thing with Bitcoin. You guys recall the great TP shortage of 2020, right? You remember that?
It was a good time. Yeah, I price gouged the hell out of people.
Did you really? No, you didn't. I was about to say, Facebook Marketplace, Josh is on there selling TP. Yeah. No, but folks, this is bullish for crypto traders as a tightening supply creates the perception of scarcity, which typically can drive the price up. And so I just wanted to say that the demand has also slowed, though. So, maybe the other side of that coin there. But the other silver lining, nation states, central banks are expected to buy Bitcoin in 2025. Do not lose sight of the prize. And this is not according to some guy in a basement. This is according to Fidelity Digital Assets. This is a large institution. So they're saying it's going to be a game changer in 2025 when it comes to Bitcoin adoption. More nation states, central banks, sovereign wealth funds, and treasuries are expected to buy Bitcoin. A strategic position could offset macro headwinds such as inflation, currency debasement, and growing fiscal deficits. Given macro headwinds such as rising inflation and all that, not making an allocation could be more risky than making one, the report said. I think this is going to be a huge mental shift in these central bankers' minds. If nation states were to adopt a Bitcoin accumulation strategy, it's likely that they would begin buying the digital asset surreptitiously, secretly, as announcing their plans would likely influence other investors to buy Bitcoin and drive the price higher. This is the game theory in effect. If you go out and you say, all right, I'm the richest cat in town, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy all this Bitcoin over the next 12 months, what would you do if you're the second richest or the 10th richest? You're like, oh, God, he's telling me what he's going to do over the next 12 months. I'm going to go and I'm going to buy some today. So we might be seeing this surreptitiously accumulation zones or just secretly accumulating behind the scenes. Josh, I'm going to ask you point blank, are nation states secretly buying Bitcoin in your opinion?
Dude, 100%. This is where you have to ask the chat here. You guys love my 1 and 2 questions here, but we got to take the poll, right? There's type 1 in chat if you believe this is a top for Bitcoin, type 2 in chat if you don't. Because I have to ask you guys a serious question here to counter DC's serious question is, do you believe these countries are going to simply even just have Bitcoin or not in the future? It doesn't even matter if they're secretly doing so now. Are they going to buy Bitcoin in the future, yes or no? And if the answer you believe is yes, what do you think happens when that first announcement takes place? Whether it's the United States saying, you know what, we're not going to sell any of our Bitcoin that we have from Ross Ulbricht. We're going to be creating a Bitcoin strategic reserve. What do you think happens? If countries and sovereign wealth states aren't doing what DZ's asking me right now and secretly accumulating now, they're effed as soon as that takes place. Bitcoins, you guys simply forget. It's crazy to me. This is crazy to me. Check out these golden candlesticks, I call them right here. This was on February 5th through the 11th here. These candlesticks, check out this action here. Why am I in view mode?
November 5th through the 11th.
November 5th would be, no, so it was actually the 9th. So a little bit right afterwards here. But check out the size of these candlesticks. That is, I'm on the US dollar. Screw the US dollar here. That is going to be Bitcoin. And zoom out to the daily here. I almost had a really based example to show you guys here. It's even better. Oh my God. Was it November 5th? Yeah, it was November 6th. I was like, what the heck? So November 6th here. Check out the size of this candlestick. You're looking at a 10% move in one day. That was $7,000 in Bitcoin's price action. Look at this date here. This was on November 11th. Bitcoin moved 11, almost 12%. $93 or $9,400 in a single day. Imagine if the U.S. announced a Bitcoin strategic reserve. You don't have time. You don't get opportunity. You don't get to come to the show at 10:30 a.m. in the morning, guys. It's easy. Should I buy now? They just announced it. Is it going to pump? You're going to come into the morning show with Bitcoin 15, 20, potentially 20% above that given price.
I'll tell you what it's like. It's like, I think it was January, maybe it was December 2020. The day we woke up and Tesla announced that they bought times 4 or 5.
Yeah,
times 3, you know?
Maybe even, exact times a lot. Because here's what I think is going to happen. I've said this before. I think we're going to announce that we're not going to sell any of our Bitcoin in the, that kind of creates a de facto strategic reserve. And we've already seen, nations are already, like, we know for a fact El Salvador is buying, and Bhutan secretly mined $1 billion worth. How long do you think that took to get that all set up and running without anybody realizing it? So it's like, this is 100% happening. This is the game theory that's playing out. I was having a conversation today with, I think it was Kelly before the show, talking about the nations that are going to be going the hardest are the ones that are outside the G20. I think anybody ranked 20 through 50. Now, you're also going to see the big dogs start, they're going to have to keep up. But anybody who wants to be a G20 nation that's sitting at 25, 30, 35 and wants to move up that economic ladder, you better believe they're already doing this, and they're doing it quietly, and they're trying to front run the US, China, Russia, all the bigger economies out there that are going to be doing this.
Yeah, going from the IMF standard to the Bitcoin standard is like having a whole lot of Apple products and trying to go to Google, or vice versa. So if you're a big country, top 20, you're so ingratiated in the Apple ecosystem and the IMF ecosystem, hard to pull yourself away. But if you only got one iPhone ever, you're ranked 58. You hardly ever talk to the IMF. It's going to be a lot easier for you.
I think I got a hot take here, which is that is your last chance. So, we've done this a lot over the years where you're like, what is going to be that catalyst that has that next leg up? As soon as that's announced, and if the United States gets a Bitcoin strategic reserve, there's nothing bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not in crypto or Bitcoin before that, you are no longer early. Like, at that point, it is now skyrocketing and taking off. This channel turns into a news channel, and we're going to be covering still altcoins and hidden sectors. That is a mature industry growth right there aspect. So you're looking at, I don't know, there's exponential gains coming from that. And all I know is I want to be in the market, not out of the market when that comes around. And I believe that's coming around within the next 12 months. And if you want to play that gamble of, I'm going to try to get in and get out of this market in before it, you could wake up literally within 24 hours any day after Trump's elected, and you could deal with missing out on that opportunity. So, look, if you have that TDS syndrome, if you, just hate conservatives so much, you want the markets to crash and burn, guys, they've been screaming crash and black swan event for the last 12 years. Look at Peter Schiff. You want to be Peter Schiff in 15 years? Saying buy gold in 2008, it being the same exact price it was in 2010, 15 years later. I personally don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, this is your last chances, everybody. And we are going to talk about Republicans in 1 second after a word from our sponsor. If you do want to hold long term, just put it in some cold storage, folks. Word from Arculus.
We just wanted to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor, Arculus. They are a cold storage hardware wallet, helps you secure all of your digital assets for the future. Just tap this thing to the back of your phone and boom, you're in. We wouldn't be able to do this without them, but also wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, the Disco fam. You've supported us a lot over the years. If you want to support the channel now, just use the code DC20. It gets you 20% off this card. You can buy one for yourself. It's a perfect holiday gift, and it's the #1 way you can support this channel going forward. Thank you for your support. We'll see you at the top.
And
Peter
he's shifty. Shifty.
Peter's books are shit. There you go.
Speaking of books, I am going to be releasing a book. I'm going to take a day. I might have to go work on it Friday. I'm trying to crank it out. I got all the outline complete. So keep an eye out on the book from DZ, everybody. It's going to be just wealth building strategies. Let's talk about Republicans, though. Republicans and Democrats. Who's more bullish on crypto? Who likes crypto more? Who calls crypto a scam? We got some just interesting facts here. Republicans loved crypto before Trump jumped on the bandwagon. And I really wanted to read this because it's from USA Today. So this is the news that's percolating to the normies. This isn't something on the CoinDesk here. So Republicans are more likely than Democrats to own crypto by a margin of 41% to 32%. Conservatives more confident than liberals in crypto. And then this kind of just matches our makeup of the country. Crypto more popular in Texas and across the Southeast, least popular in the Northeast, such as Connecticut and New Hampshire, and no surprise here, from the Pacific Northwest. So Chaz does not like Bitcoin, basically. Men are more than twice as likely as women to own crypto, according to the Penn surveys here. This one feels a little low. I feel like it'd be 3 or 4 times as likely. Men, that's only 33% to 67%.
Yeah, I don't know where they're polling from. Like, what college are they getting that research from? What economic, state are they
It
a
was
part of?
Wharton, Trump's old alma mater did the study here.
I don't know. That's a hard one.
Yeah, it is hard.
Because
TJ,
how many?
would you say 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 10 to 1? What would you say?
I don't know. I think it's not. I'm not too surprised that you're saying it's 50-50 men to women. Young.
No, they're saying 2 to 1, which would be 33 to 67%.
That sounds about right to me. 2 to 1 men, like 2 guys. We're talking about millennials specifically.
Because I think you have to remember too, like, men might be the only ones that attend these conferences because they're like little cesspools, but all together, I would say that's probably there's a pretty high chance. I mean, look, Cynthia Lummis is the one that's been leading the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. Her whole team's like full of staff. So I would say it's probably because we go to conferences, and these conferences are it's like a Comic Con. It's a lot more men at a conference, but it's also a bunch of geeks. So.
To me, it just seems high. I felt if you got 100 Doge holders, you're not going to have 33 of them be female.
Like, for example, here, I know the number's way different on this, but like if you go to a makeup convention, it's going to primarily be women. But like I know a lot of straight dudes that wear makeup and have never announced it in their life.
I don't know any.
I don't.
Dude, I've known quite a few.
Yeah, that's the difference between Georgia and California right there. No, just kidding.
True.
We'll wear makeup as Texas boys. All right, nothing. Hey, if you want to cover a blemish, I'm not gonna hate on you.
Every actor, every newscaster, you guys got to realize all those people wear makeup.
Sure.
You really need
one out of 1,000. 1 out of 1,000 people. Right, that applies to.
It might actually help our views if we.
Oh, it definitely helps.
No more cracked lips and bleeding lips for me.
People, they can stop wearing sunglasses when they watch the stream here, because I know this is blinding to y'all. So why do Republicans like crypto? They're saying the reason is because of decentralization. And with the origin also is libertarian. Many conservatives would rather see trust divvied up among individual entities rather than concentrated in a large one, such as the Federal Reserve or a multinational bank. And crypto is the anti-establishment stuff. They're casting liberals and Democrats as defenders of the banking industry and the Fed, at least in the context of crypto. That seems counterintuitive, at least in the past, given that progressive historically taken pride in challenging authority. In the case of crypto, countercultural thinking emanates from the right. And I would say the countercultural thinking we're seeing just a fundamental shift. It's not just crypto. We're seeing censorship and other things there. So, Democrats, I do think it will become more popular amongst Democrats, but then it's just so hard to gauge. It's hard to gauge there.
It will become popular. I think Democrats already love crypto. They just kind of they're like the Mean Girls table, dude. Like they're like scared to speak up against their little almighty powerful.
That's what I was gonna say. It's gonna become a non-political. You can't afford to get political about this issue, because if you do, you're gonna lose. So you're gonna see people come around. It's like saying, do you hate prosperity? I don't think either party is gonna be against prosperity. You know what I'm saying? Or markets going up. They might have a different approach on how to get markets to go up, but
no, Democrats were just against it because they like inside trading a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot of people got strong comments on the makeup.
Guys, my wife does it for me in the morning.
Kelly's asking you, what is the most masculine blush?
JDVance.com. He is selling both some blush and eyeliner. If you guys need the top eyeliner out there, my go-to there.
They call it V-liner.
With Trump coming into office, I think there's going to be a massive discount off those imports. So that will be, they're American made.
Yeah, we got the. It's Trump orange. That's the most masculine blush you can wear right there.
Are you getting married? Get Trump orange.
There you go.
The manliest self tanner out there.
It comes with 2 collector coins and an NFT.
Hey, there you go.
And some sneakers.
You open up your little blush, and it's a QR code.
There you go.
It's a QR code that you just scanned. All right. Look, there's nothing wrong with wearing makeup. unless you're a dude. Ooh, you just got DZ'd.
No.
People are just wanting me to
Look,
DZ
hey,
somebody.
girls
Look,
like-
nothing wrong with makeup.
Growing up, I have a lot of hair, so like my eyelashes. I'm sure you get a lot
Dude,
of guys get compliments on their eyelashes.
I got you are wearing mascara accusations.
I mean,
in
I'm
like
just saying,
10th.
DZ could sell
when I
his
was 10.
lashes. He could have those little fake ones. You can get DZlashes.com.
All right, I'm
going
going to talk about AI agents in 4 seconds, but yes, I used to cut my eyelashes with
Okay.
nail trimmers when I was 10 years old because I was so tired of being bullied about having mascara.
Are you serious?
That's
wow.
nailed. What?
Yeah, my
Did it
mom
ever
caught
like
me.
slip and pull?
My
and you're
mom
like,
saw me from the side and she's like, I saw her looking at me funny. She's like, "Did you cut your eyelashes?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "What did you use?" I was like, "The nail clipper." She's like, "Why did you do that?" I was like, "Everyone says I'm wearing mascara." I hated it. Hated it. All right, folks.
Looks
Let's
like
talk
you're
about
wearing mascara
AI
right now,
agents.
DZ.
We don't need more.
Tell me how you really feel. Are you? You know, yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
He's like, I was 26 years old. I was like, oh, never mind.
I'm gonna go scream in the bathroom at the mirror after this. All right, let's talk about AI agents here. Multicoin Capital. You may have heard of them. Very successful VC. Do you know who Multicoin is? One of the more famous people associated with it?
No.
Multi-coin, famous people. Richard Hart.
David Sachs.
Oh,
David
interesting.
Sachs,
Man,
right?
I am sorry I did that to you, David Sachs.
So a lot of, maybe, I don't know if he's a capital investor himself, but definitely rolling with those circles here. And Multicoin Capital eyeing AI agents institutional frenzy for 2025. So they're expecting to see a proliferation of tokenized securities and the emergence of AI agent alpha hunters. Not like Dog the Bounty Hunter. These are people looking for crypto alpha. And so the report was dubbed Frontier Ideas for 2025. And they're saying that the AI-run zero-employee companies and the dizzying pace of institutional adoption finally takes off in a meaningful way. Investors are going to turn to AI agent alpha hunters to navigate the new growth of new tokens and crypto-native financial products here. Here are nice little graphic on stablecoins as well. There's a little graphic on revenue for AI agents. This isn't years, months. This is a day. And just seeing the massive uptick that took off, probably the tail end of November, beginning of December, seeing a little bit of a cool down, but don't expect AI agents to go away anytime soon. Eventually, Multicoin predicts crypto capital markets will fund ambitious attempts at zero-employee companies, which could lead to incredible breakthroughs through all business operations. I went to Multicoin's portfolio. Let's do a little deep dive. Let's teach you how to fish here. Go to multicoin.capital. You can also Google it. Just search for their portfolio. You're going to find it. You can tell by the alphabetical order here, it's a lot of tokens. A lot of tokens. I actually looked at all of them last night, trying to find some AI angles, saw some things that are, tangentially connected. But I feel a lot of people are going to pull this up and they're going to see this one. TJ, what percentage is this going to stop reading?
Like 85.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
And you can scroll and you can try to find another AI alpha play. I think a lot of people are just going to look at this right here. So we went to their Twitter. You go right here, Alethea AI, building infrastructure for agentic AI. I keep saying infrastructure is going to be a little bit more of a safer bet when it comes to this AI narrative here. Then I was wondering, can you buy this token? They don't have a token. But what they do have is an NFT, Revenants by Alethea AI. Tell me without telling me, these things are definitely going to be agentic AI agents out there. Now,
Those
I'm not saying go out and buy this NFT. There's only 100. Very illiquid, meaning you could buy it and not find a seller for a month.
Scroll down a little bit. Yeah, you know what sorry to sidetrack you, but you know what that reminds me of? That those pictures, not only are those a little strange, but it reminds me of like a weird NFT version of Guess Who. You ever play Guess Who with like you flip up the little characters? And
Yeah, for sure.
It's a weird.
Yeah, like the slightly 80s board game drawing style here.
Also, while I'm
look at some of these sales.
Distracting
50
you.
ETH.
Zach Martin
ETH.
said Lashes LaBeouf. But
Lashes LaBeouf.
for you.
Just do it.
Wear it.
Yeah.
Just wear it.
Yeah. Just wear it. Yeah.
Just wear it.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, sorry about that.
So I'm not saying go out and buy these things, but maybe something to keep an eye out on. I wonder if like where you're at in history has something to do with how well your AI agent will run.
Hold
like
up.
this guy is just like trying to put the triangle in the square hole.
Number 42 takes the win here on the comments. I've never heard this, and this is so good because I just saw a camel face to face. But he said, I was stationed in the Middle East and got told I had eyelashes of a camel and wasn't sure if that was an insult or not because dude, their eyelashes
super long, yeah.
are super long. Dude, that just means I think you were just getting called pretty in the Middle East, and that was like lingo for what's not allowed out there. But
Was it gonna be like a
anyways, Algorand, what's next? I got no transition. Speaking of transitions, I wear great eyelashes. No. Get me out of here.
Don't ever
DZ.
say that
Take me out of
sentence.
here. Get me out of here.
All right, let's talk about a little brevity here in the crypto markets. Hex.
Oh gosh, now
Get some
what?
strong emotions out here in the chat. Hex founder Richard Hart. They got his watches, everybody. I don't know why I turned into what's this?
Oh, we didn't leave the sus topic at
he
all.
got his watches.
Finnish
Christopher
police
Watkins seize the watches, says Walken, worth $2.6 million from founder Richard Hart. They seized these watches, who's wanted on tax fraud and assault charges. Mostly Rolexes he had. He had 20 watches that they got seized here, which are believed to be Schuller's, which is Richard's last name, and were left in a residence in Espoo, Finland. If the last part of your city's name is Poo, is it a good town? National broadcaster reported yesterday the combined value, $2.7 million, according to a combination of receipts and estimates from a luxury good expert. Many of the watches purchased in Finland, while some were bought in the U.S. The detective in charge of the investigation, Inspector Harri Saaristola, told the police that they were able to track down his abandoned watches through their intelligence activities. Now, his tax arrears, this is where it is actually insane. They say Richard Hart, his tax bill amounts to several $100 million.
Jeez.
Not his net worth. His tax bill is several $100 million. While the government says his 2023 income, his bear market income, only $15 million. The authorities still unable. This is where it gets even crazier. The authorities still unable to find Richard Hart. And he's maintaining an active presence on social media, and he continues to promote Hex and upload videos on his YouTube channel. Just a crazy, crazy story here. Then that's going to take us to this video right here. Here's Richard Hart showing his $10 million in watches. More money than most people's entire family tree has ever earned.
What you got, and if you work hard and you try hard, maybe you learn
pride
from me.
cometh
You could have
before the fall, they say there. So, hey, good watch collection there. TJ, what are your thoughts of this story?
Pretty wild. I mean, it's it almost makes me think it's gonna go on for a while. Where they're kind of reminds me of McAfee a little bit, where he's out there, they're trying to get him, he's posting, they can't get anything, and it usually only ends one way. So,
Bob from accounting, maybe I was channeling Christopher Walken because of Pulp Fiction. He had a watch. He had to hide up his. He wanted me to give it to you.
Hex is so shit.
Are you
This is
showing the
just-
chart? Are you looking at the chart?
Dude, $500,000 in volume. Like, there's not even volume. It's so fake. It's such a Ponzi scheme. Like, Richard Hart literally is.
He's
I mean, he'll probably like jail because he looks like the type of dude that would love to take a shower there. But, this is like. You could have called this a scam. We've been calling this a scam since day one, dude.
Everybody has.
Everybody has. Everybody knows it. Anybody that wears those stupid, like, onesie outfits of, like, Louis Vuitton, like, it just, like.
But no one
Dude, you
wanted
just-
to debate him on Bitcoin.
I mean, people have.
No,
People
it's just-
have. There's like a handful of
He's
people
like,
who did okay.
yeah, but he's like one of those liberal TikTokers that just has talking points and will make a circular argument so that way he can never necessarily lose the argument, but also is completely wrong and invalid. And
Yeah, a lot of times would just use it for exposure and platform. I think that's the main reason a lot of people didn't want to do the debates. Is it always worked into a way to promote Hex, and so if you're somebody who doesn't want to do that, it's pretty hard to give them a platform.
and it takes a certain level of genius to fool people into a $60 billion scam.
Yeah. He's intelligent.
He's definitely intelligent. So it's just like, but knowing that he had 14 different IDs, like there's just red flag after red flag after red flag after red flag. And somehow people are still like, oh, he's going to.
But he did install a bidet in his mother's toilet.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Did
he's
you
a
read,
good boy.
Did he? Okay,
Don't read it
never
out
mind.
loud.
I take everything back. I am bullish on Hex, dude. But days are the way to go.
There's
Yeah,
some-
I hosted an episode of ATB, DZ's
they're gonna clip
Peanut,
that,
saying
dude.
he smoked every guest on there and punked them. I will say, I don't remember if it was Austin or Aaron, but one of the Altcoin Daily Twins was on there, and they were asking fair questions. Did Richard Hart knock all those questions out of the park while simultaneously not really answering them? Yes. Did 90% of people feel like it was a satisfactory answer? Yeah. So, I mean, he did pretty good on there. He's the smartest person in crypto. I would say he's probably has one of the higher social intelligences in crypto when it comes to, like, he'd be the best at selling used cars. Vitalik, genius. Vitalik wouldn't be able to sell one car a month.
Now, there's the smartest person in crypto, hands down, goes to CZ. He got 4 months of prison time and $40 billion. Can't
Pretty
stop
smart.
that.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah,
stop it.
CZ's
And by
pretty
the way,
smart.
that's liquid. Richard Hart's Hex is not liquid. There's like little to no volume on those chart actions at this point. So I would have to give it up to that level. I don't know. Who do you think is the smartest person in crypto?
I mean, it is a tough. It's Satoshi, and we're all Satoshi. That's a good
Well,
one. That's a good answer.
No,
it's
besides
all
Satoshi,
relevant too, right? What is smart? What is, you're talking about actual intelligence? Are you talking about
Making the most amount of money for.
No. Here's what it is. Who's happiest? It's the guy that sold all his Bitcoin and he's living on a beach in El Salvador. Not all his Bitcoin. He sold a lot of Bitcoin that he got early.
my
That guy.
favorite?
And no one knows his name.
My favorite thought leader, as far as like, I think a good approach to things. I'm a big fan of Eric Voorhees, have been for a long time. I do like CZ as a great pick, but I think Eric Voorhees, as far as being early, still contributing, finding a way to operate within the political landscape that is the world today while still making an impact, I think, and being happy and being successful and contributing products that the world needs.
A lot of people are saying Charles Hoskinson.
Yeah,
Hosky.
he's a good talker.
Hoskinator.
I like Charles too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think a lot of the ETH founders of the ETH Foundation, Gavin Wood. I mean, a lot of those people are
You
genius
weren't,
to a
you weren't
level.
an ETH founder if you weren't
Weren't
crazy
genius.
smart.
Dude,
Right.
Also, there was 7 of them.
Yep.
I think. Yeah, they're all. Every single one of them is like the definition of genius.
Yeah.
They're all worth billions at this point.
There's like one guy in the back who just like mopped the floor, but we don't know who that guy is.
All
All
right,
right,
we'll give you a % if you just keep the place clean. It's like yes.
let's talk about TikTok crypto influencers. And does this article name Joshua Jake? We're about to find out, folks. TikTok crypto videos, 68% contain
doubt it.
Uh-oh.
misleading information, report warns. Josh isn't in this. I was just kidding. More than 2/3 of crypto advice is misleading. The crypto enthusiast should approach such content with caution. An analysis of over 1,000 TikTok videos on crypto found that many of the 482 influencers appear to prioritize their personal gain over the financial well-being of their audience.
I'm going to be real. This poll is ridiculously low. It is probably 80+%.
Oh yeah,
minimum.
well, it's about to get
TikTok
worse.
is one of the worst. Coming from one of the biggest crypto TikTokers. TikTok is one of the worst. It's all about short form, high hitting dopamine content. So most of these creators in crypto, dude, they're 15 to 60 second clips with little to no education, if any education at all, and usually are completely wrong. So I would say the best place by far is Twitter. Then I would probably say YouTube. But really, it's like I'm looking for those in-depth threads and analysis and research and analytics. And there's very few people on TikTok that are analytical.
I'll say Sergey's really smart, but we actually have the correct answer. We found the correct answer. The smartest person in crypto. Let me see if I can find. I want to read it verbatim here. They said affirmed.
Jim
The
Cramer.
dude who sold the pizzas.
Oh,
2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin.
look, he chose.
He might win.
Hold up, and he did choose happiness over financial wealth. So there's a level of.
No, he's not talking about the guy who.
No, the guy who sold the pizza.
The guy
Not
who
the guy who
sold
sold
the
the
pizza.
Bitcoin.
Oh, God. Yes.
Yeah, awesome. And that guy was actually prompted to sell and distribute his Bitcoin by Satoshi himself. That guy was one of the first people to find a mining exploitive bug that allowed people to mine a whole lot of Bitcoin.
No,
Him and a
it wasn't
handful
really-
of other people accumulated massive amounts. And Satoshi himself was saying, hey, can you, I think, basically disperse these tokens? It helps our decentralization.
Yeah, he was the guy you're talking about, Lorenzo or whatever. He created GPU mining. Basically, he was the first.
GPU mining. I don't know, did he create it or is one of the first to exploit it?
That's not really an exploit. He was the one who just
To utilize it well.
Yeah,
Exploit, maybe wrong word there, but.
No, yeah, but he was the one to start using GPUs to mine instead of CPU. Before it was all using the CPU, and he was
Maybe
like,
I'll have to check. I don't know if he was the creator, but potentially he was. TJ saying definitively he was, right?
No, he was one of the first.
Okay, one of the first.
Yeah,
I was just checking there.
Yeah.
All right. Data, back to TikTok here. Data shows that in 34% of the videos, remember they only looked at 1,000. Here are the coins. Number one, they're rooting for Bitcoin, followed by XRP. 34% rooting for Bitcoin, 21% rooting for XRP. Solana, Ethereum, and Dogecoin all around 15%. So about 15% pumping those meme coins there and altcoins. Besides shilling specific coins, just over a third promote unrealistic returns on investment and demonstrate just how effective the misleading videos are. This analysis found that each of the 1,000 videos they looked at get an average of 840,000 views and 24,000 likes. So it looks like they looked at the 1,000 most popular crypto videos because they're averaging 1 million views. That is not the average of crypto videos out there, folks. So just a insight into the accuracy of that. But now let's talk about this XRP ETF. This is major news. I wanted to share some of this towards the back end here. XRP ETF could soon be a reality, says the Ripple president, as the RLUSD is gaining traction. Those ETF could soon become a reality, as Ripple president Monica Long said to Bloomberg just yesterday. I think we will see one very soon. I think that we will see more crypto ETFs this year coming out of the US. And I think XRP likely to be next in line after Bitcoin and Ether. Sorry, Solana maxis. We think, especially with the administration change, the approvals of these filings will accelerate. She also added that Ripple's new stablecoin will be available on more exchanges imminently and expected to be a major part of the firm's payment and money business. So now we have, the odds that XRP potentially going even higher here. We need to look at we need to make a poly market thing, man. What is the next coin to get a standalone crypto ETF? But if we were to be, a little bit clear here, this is coming from Ripple's president. So she might be a little bit biased here, but still pretty good odds. And she's saying it is happening. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are. Is XRP going to beat Solana? Is it going to be Litecoin? If you had to name one coin, what coin do you name?
What it will beat?
What's the next one after Ether? You can only
For
name one coin.
standalone ETF.
Standalone ETF. Standalone.
I'd have to say Solana.
All right, we got Solana.
Yeah, XRP,
TJ?
I think it won't until unless they throw out the lawsuit. But
Yeah, it's tough.
Until that's guaranteed, I would say Solana.
We were talking about it. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be Solana or XRP. XRP does have more history as far as like time on market, so that's a tough one. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not really willing to make a call
Yeah,
there.
if the SEC throws everything out against XRP, then they're going to be inclined to file, and I don't know. So I'd have to wait till that happens.
I will take the dark horse candidate. Litecoin. That one's for you, Tom Crown, specifically for Tom Crown and his sunglasses.
Well, did you also? We might want to hit. Let's see if I can pull it up.
Cardano, XLM.
Did you have this up here? I mean, this was yesterday. Brad Garlinghouse, pictures with Trump here. So yeah, KOLs out there working hard. They're really stepping up their game. Going out there and getting those
that increases the
influencer
odds.
picks.
100% increases the odds. We got Jay tooting around. Do you think XRP will burn substantial tokens? Nothing that can offset. All right, so XRP burns a little bit of a token with each transaction. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be off by a factor. It's 10,000 or 100,000 transactions burns one XRP. That is nothing. That is a hummingbird's fart compared to their dumping from their escrow wallet.
Only on the XRPL.
Holdings. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Any transaction on XRPL. So it could be their stable coin is going to burn XRP. XRP transactions are going to burn XRP.
So, and I believe this is the truth, is if it happens on Ethereum, it's not burning XRP.
Okay. That would make sense. Because once those coins are on chain, it's going to be living and dying by Ethereum's gas burn rules, not XRP's.
So,
and that's where
there's some complications there, but hey, technically it is deflationary.
All right. Technically deflationary. All right. Well, I got a Mario little space that I'm going to do in about 30. Josh, any parting words you want to give to the smartest crypto group out there, the Disco fam? HODL. And we got a new type of the $2 super chat. No point ETFs that don't include staking. Once staking is introduced to Ethereum ETFs, I expect Ethereum to put $1,000 on that coin's price within the next 7 to 14 days. So you heard it here first, folks. We tried to teach you how to fish with the AI agents. We tried to talk you off the cliff with the Bitcoin drawdown. Josh is going to do some more investigating into the ecosystem. I'm going to start looking into Aerodrome. Did we hit the likes, TJ?
Now, smash the likes on the way out, guys. Should be easy. There's plenty of you here.
All right. Tell Mario to say hey to Luigi, but not that one.